Today, I want to talk to you about PMS systems. You might be thinking like, what is that? You might have referred to it as Fosse, OnQ, Opera, Roommaster, Stay in Touch. These are all different PMS systems. And then it stands for Property Management Software or Property Management System. And this is what records all of the guest transactional data there at the front of the house accounting system, just another name for it. Now, it's very, very important to understand how this system is set up so that you have all of the information that you need for your hotels. Now, the next part about this is you really want to make sure that your activity that you're seeing really gets the financial statements and the way that you want to see it. And the PMS system is vital to that. You see, you can only have a profit and loss statement that is as detailed as the activity on your PMS reports. So, if you want to know how your market beer is doing on your P&L, your PMS reports must provide that level of granular detail. And if they don't, you're unfortunately not going to have that level of detail on your financial statements. So this is something to please keep in mind when you're reviewing your PMS systems to make sure that you're getting the absolute best system for your hotel. Now, let's talk about some of the reports and how that activity gets to your accounting system and what reports and activity you need to look at. The first thing is we need to go back to the daily balancing equation for your hotel and for your PMS system. So that's your revenue plus your non-revenue is going to equal your settlements or your receipts plus your change in the hotel ledgers. Your PMS system must use and have hotel ledgers. There are some out there that don't. You do not want to be on a system like this. And as a reminder, your hotel ledgers are going to be your guest ledger, your advanced deposit ledger, and your accounts receivable or your city ledger. Those activity must be a part of your PMS system in order to get all the activity that you need over to your financial statements. The next thing is we want to look at what kind of reports you have and how they integrate with your different accounting system, your back office or heart of the house system. What I mean by this is it needs to be able to export all of your activity. That means your market statistics, your market segmentation. It needs to have all of your revenue, all of your taxes, all that receipt, and then the change in ledgers for each ledger appropriately over to your back of the house accounting system. And this is what then derives your profit and loss statement for you. So you must make sure that that activity can either be manually exported or should be an automatic import and that no detail is left unturned on those systems. That will make your life 10,000 times easier. The next thing I want to talk about here is to make sure that you're able to view all of the detail in those systems, in the PMS system. So that means that you need to be able to pull a report that goes into the granular detail that you want to see on your P&L. Now, there was a hotel that was using a system and in miscellaneous income, all of a sudden they had $5,000 in here at the end of the month. And what it turns out was happening is that within the PMS system, there were other accounts that were linked into the miscellaneous income account. So that means front desk was putting postage there, guest charges for no show, and cancellation charges were all being lumped into this one account. And that was then feeding put into their accounting system and then giving them this $5,000 extra revenue for the miscellaneous income, which wasn't helpful at all for the hotel. And what they had to do is they had to go back and go line by line through every folio to figure out what was making up that system or that activity. Whereas if their report had been able to provide them with a end of month report or an end of day or weekly report that broke down every single account for within the PMS system, they wouldn't have had to do this. So please make sure that all of your activity can be reviewed and seen all within your PMS system. Now, finally, I want to talk a little about responsibilities when you're switching a system or setting up a system, or if you're just a new GM and you want to make sure, hey, who do I go to? What do I need to do to make sure my accounts are correct and my PMS system is set up correctly? So the first thing I want you to find out is who's responsible for closing out the day in the property management system or the PMS. So who is it responsibility to handle that night audit process on a daily basis? Secondly, what is the process and what are the specific steps that they need to follow? And if there is an issue, who should they contact? And finally, how are taxes and tax exempt handled at the property within those systems? Those three questions will set you and your team up for success. There you have it, the very basics of the hotel PMS system and key areas to look out for, along with a few questions to ask along the way. I hope you found this video helpful. And if you haven't, please hit subscribe below and to follow more of our activity in our reports and videos. Thanks and have a great day.
Thank you for watching this week's video. These videos are designed to help you build your team, make your financial statements even more helpful, and ultimately save you money. If you haven't signed up to receive these videos weekly, please do so below. And if you know someone that this would help, send it their way. All right, thanks.